Welcome to episode 2 of the reset. I have 69 days. I have 69 days left to collect 10k in cash before I drop out, or I have to stay in school to study for the A levels and walk away from my business. Now, what have I accomplished this week? Essentially, this week my goal was to complete Nasser, which is my current client's boarding course project, outreach to prospects, create templates and prompts for outreach, and learn the sales process for consistent 10k months. Now, for this week, I actually surpassed my goal and actually outreach to 15 people. I have created templates and prompts for outreach right now. So I mainly do 3 different outreaches: Instagram Reels and Stories, YouTube scripts, as well as emails, right? And I created templates and prompts that allows me to finish all of these. So 2 full YouTube scripts, 3 Instagram Reels, and whatever. I can finish each of these 6 emails, right, in like 1.5 hours, which is amazing, and it's fucking high quality. Right, and so I outreach to these people today. Let me just demonstrate. So outreach to all these people, and I've learned a sales process from my GOAT, this guy, Rob Quinn. Anyways, this is my calendar, so you can see it's just spamming free value, spamming outreach, because it is the most important thing for me to do right now. Couple of calls as well. Right, this is a coaching call. This is a call with a prospect, right? I'm supposed to be working out right now, but I'm fucking tired. I'll get into that later. But that's what I've accomplished this week. And now, progress tracker. So how much cash have I collected? Okay, so I've managed to close one person because I only had one call. Well, so I managed to close. We've collected $1,000 this week. Right, so this is total cash, and then this week's income is 1,000 as well. This is USD, so whatever, do your conversions. But this is a 5k deal that is spread across 2 months. So it's 2k right now, and then 3k in February. And we're really gonna scale this up together. So I'm working for someone's agency right now. I love this guy, by the way. And hopefully, in about 1-2 years, it'll be easy, 20-30k a month payout. Right? That is the long-term vision. But right now, I'm just focusing on getting the 10k. So I'm 10%. 10% of goal reach, and it's 1,000 more than what I've collected last week. And what I'm feeling is very, very impatient. And these are like the lessons learned. I think it's really, really valuable to just, list down the lessons I've learned and just document this, so I can really kind of look back on this in the future. The first lesson learned, I think, is something I really need to fucking hammer into my head. Is value debt leads to monetary debt. And the question I should be asking myself is not how do I get to 10k, but how do I get my client to 100k. So this is something that I notice has been like a recurring fucking problem of mine, whereby I'm so focused on making myself money, probably because of the situation I'm in right now, that I forget that the precursor to me making myself money is getting my clients fucking money, right? Because financial transaction only happens, money is only generated when value is created. And value is only created when I alleviate a pain, right? And I can only alleviate a pain if I'm fucking good at what I do, if I have the right solution. So I think this is a pretty interesting concept. You won't find this online, by the way. But value debt, basically what this means is the value that you're putting out to the market that alleviates a painful problem for, let's say, a client, for anyone in particular, and this works for any business, right? And it's almost like value debt is like always behind a little, value debt is in front, and then monetary debt is kind of behind. And when you don't basically give value to the market, what tends to happen is that in terms of the income that you generate, you slowly start to drop as well. It's almost proportional. And so, because one thing leads to another, correct? The reason why I got into 50k debt is because the value that I was giving to the market was extremely low, given that I was also, charging them extremely high prices. So I was cashing out on all the goodwill that I had. It's like a bank, right? And because I was cashing out on all this goodwill, slowly I got into value debt. The value that I was providing to the marketplace got into a negative, and slowly the monetary debt catch up to it, which is why I'm in debt right now. And the reason why I could run the agency in the first place or make like 7k in a week, right, in the first place was because before this, I was doing so much free value. I was over-delivering like crazy. And I contributed so much value to the marketplace. And so over time, money catches up, right? And so value goes up, money goes up as well. And when I give less value, value goes down, then my money also fucking comes down. And so I really need to nail this into my paradigm, which is, asking myself at all times, how do I make this client more money? How do I make this guy fucking rich? Because my copywriting mentor essentially told me that, KJ Rainey, he said that right now one of my main problems is that I'm thinking like that. And all of my problem solving capacity is going towards how do I make more money, when it should be going towards how do I make my client more money, right? So that I can make more money in return. Of course, it's not like a completely binary thing whereby I only focus on making my clients money, right? And do not strike, do not try and make money from them. But definitely I should lean more towards this side for now. And the second lesson I've learned this week is pain is the greatest catalyst for consistency. Many people like to talk about being disciplined and the importance of discipline. Fuck your motivation, just be disciplined. But discipline is not really that important. It's only important insofar as, it's a vehicle to allow us to achieve consistency, which is really the main thing, right? To be consistent over a long period of time is the only way you can achieve success in anything that you do, in any endeavor that you do. Consistency is hard to achieve, right? Patience and consistency is probably like the two greatest traits that a person can have. And the reason why consistency is so hard to achieve is because as humans, we naturally oscillate, right, between various emotional states due to, life circumstances, whatever. And so our peak, we have like peaks and troughs, times when we're doing really well, we feel like top of the world, and times when we're doing really, really fucking bad, right? Like we're in a rut, something really bad has happened, or, we just, I don't know, got addicted to cocaine or some shit, and then, you're in a rut. And I found out very, very interestingly that naturally we oscillate between this, right? But I found that the way we can stop ourselves from going into this trough here, right, and stop this painful cycle whereby sometimes we're going up and down, is through pain. Pain makes us compliant. Pain makes us, it stops us from going into that trough. Fuck, I'm so tired right now, man. Anyway, pain stops us from going deep into that trough, and the reason for that is because this cycle here is almost dictated by our emotions, right? So when we rise up, what tends to happen is we start to get comfortable, right? We start to get very comfortable. For instance, to give an example, let's talk about, the easiest example could be, let's say you are a athlete, right? And you swim, let's say you train extremely hard, right? And you go up, so like you're now top 3. What tends to happen is you start to get slightly comfortable, and then you hit your peak. So let's say you break a record and you think, oh, I'm the GOAT, man, nothing can stop me, right? Which is completely fine. But what tends to happen is if you get way too comfortable, you just start to drop. You start to drop and you go into this trough. And this trough basically is like a standard that you will not pass. Like right now, you will not lick a toilet seat, right? Something like that. And it's always dictated by pain. So it's always comfort, pride, and then it drops to, this trough. And then you probably feel anger, shame, or some shit. And then because you feel so angry and shameful at your current circumstance, at, your minimum standard, at your standard, you then go back up, right? So we just shoot like that. And so what I've realized is, how do I prevent myself from going down and instead just consistently, go up like that? I have to constantly inflict pain on myself. And it's not like physical suffering, but it's mental suffering. It's consistently emphasizing to myself that I can do so much better. And it's not celebrating my wins. Celebrating it for a moment, but not dwelling too much on it. And just telling myself, this is fucking nothing, bro. Is that it? Like, it's gonna hurt, man. If you want to achieve, the things you want in life. And pain right now is, I believe, the greatest weapon I have to get what I want. And this kind of leads me to my next point as well, right? Which is, I was always wondering, right, why in the months of November and December, why, is my progress so fucking slow? And obviously it's because I'm traveling and shit, but I think the main reason why it took me so long to get out of this bad situation, and right now I'm slowly getting myself out of it, like this week I've already made 5k technically, is because I forgot to ask myself this question. I got comfortable. I forgot to ask myself what's the most painful thing to do that get me closest to my goals. This is, I think, a huge epiphany that I've made. And that is, your current self is going to reject things that are going to cue it in a psychological manner. So in order for you to achieve your goals, you have to, obviously attain a new identity, right? Have a completely new belief system and whatsoever. Because you right now, with your current beliefs and paradigms, it's almost impossible for you to achieve what you want to achieve. And so whenever you start to do things that move you towards your goal, sometimes you'll feel this sort of, resistance towards it. Like, oh fuck, we don't really want to do this, but it's so painful, man. I just want to procrastinate. I just want to scroll. And it's really because of this phenomenon over here whereby your current self doesn't want itself to die, right? If you fucking stab someone, they're going to dodge, right? It's the same thing. Work essentially is a weapon to kill your current self so that your evolved self, your new self, can take its place. And so right now I've really gotten into the habit of asking myself, especially when I don't know what to do, or when I seem, when I'm at a loss, a complete loss complete loss, basically. I ask myself, what's the most painful thing to do that bring me the closest to my goals? So if I've been working for a long time but nothing has changed, you're probably just working on the wrong things. You're avoiding pain. And the reason why I put that there is because there's this dude in my mentorship, and he has been inside ever since I joined back in 2024. And he's still stuck at less than 1,000 a month, and it fluctuates, I remember him, he likes to send in monthly reports about all the shit he does, give updates, he does appointment booking, I think. But he's still stuck at below 1,000 a month, bro. And it fluctuates between 0 and 1,000. And it's just impossible, right? If you're young, single, you have no kids, it's impossible for you to fail, bro. It's fucking not possible, man. So you're probably just avoiding pain. You're probably doing things that don't matter at all. Right now, I guarantee you, if, let's say you're taking the A-levels, you're studying, right? And you ask yourself right now, what's the most painful thing to do that I don't want to do, that I know will get me the closest to my goals? Something immediately will pop up. And the moment that pops up, you immediately have resistance coming along with it, which is, bro, let's not do it. Maybe it could be, doing the subject that you hate the most. For me, it's fucking CSC, bro. Every time I open the Google Classroom, I literally feel myself, wanting to just click away or puke or some shit. But yeah, this is a huge revelation. And so that is the frame I'm going to be using whenever I plan for things, which is what's the most painful thing to do that bring me the closest to my goals. Powerful shit. Okay, and so my plan for next week is very simple. Right now, since I landed this guy, right, I'm working for him already. He's going to be my priority because I need to over deliver again. Remember, value debt leads to monetary debt. And I just completed a complete gamma doc for him. So essentially he had, let me just show you basically. Let me show you. Hopefully he doesn't roast me for this shit, bro. So this is the initial document that he created, right? And this is after I have updated it. Fucking great copy, bro. Yeah. Anyways, let's see how this performs. I'm really curious as well. Cool. I kind of forgotten how fun copywriting is, sometimes when you try to make money so fast, right, and you just fucking outsource everything, you really lose enjoyment for your work, essentially. So scaling fast is definitely a huge mistake, man, that I made. And the next thing I'm going to do as well is plan and execute strategy to help Nasser get more academy members. So I want to get this guy to 100k a month. Beyond that, I want to eventually scale him to $1 million months. But right now I don't have the skill to do so. So I'm going to ask some people that I know, and I'm going to just work. I'm going to complete 9 free values as well. So I'm going to do more outreaching. Many people have loved the free value that I'm putting out, so that's going well for me, hopefully. And hopefully, I can collect 10k by Jan. I don't know if that's possible, and then just handle fulfillment, in February. This would be so easy if there was no school. But now look at my schedule, bro. Look at the time the school is taking, man. So in like 3 days, I'm going back to school. And that's going to be... Holy shit. Fuck, man. I want to cry looking at this. Yeah, but we'll figure things out, right? We'll figure things out. Yeah, man. So that's kind of it for this week. And yeah, see you next week.